Hello and welcome to round 3 of the Rilton Cup. I'm your host for the day, Fiona Stil Anthony, and I'm delighted to be joined by Swedish legend Grandmaster Ulf Andersson. How are you today, Ulf?
Okay, thank you. I'm pleased to be here. Nice to be here also with you and to look at the games and give some comments as
yes,
well.
I'm looking forward as well. Yesterday evening we got to do some commentary already, some practice for us.
Yes.
And we saw some very interesting games. I think one of the most maybe spectacular we saw was the escape from Mahoney against Wallace. So if you haven't seen that, make sure to check it out. Today should be a good day as well. We have Tiger Hillar Persson, who's made his way to the first board against top seed Tamia Nabati. He is the top-ranked Swedish player in this tournament. And I think we're going to start right away with his game. Today we also have Erik Blomqvist on the live boards, so a lot to look forward to for our Swedish chess fans.
Yeah. Yes, they have already, an interesting position, I would say, with lots of play from both sides. But well, it's like reverse Sicilian more or less, and yesterday Hillar Persson had this type of position with the white position with black pieces, but then he jumped with the knight to e4. It was exchanged and played with the double e pawns, and he won a good
nice
game, quite safe.
Yeah.
Rather easy he won actually, with nice play.
Surprisingly easily.
Yes.
He was black against the top-rated Swedish junior player, so.
Yes.
So always good to show your authority, not let the youngsters.
Yeah, and.
Shall we maybe go through the opening moves quickly and see how we got to this position?
So, yeah.
I guess you know Tiger's repertoire quite well. Is this his usual?
Yeah. Well, here, if black wants, he can try to go into kind of London system with knight f6, bishop f5 or to g4, trying to with the tempo down, but those kind of positions. But he prefers to play g6. Also possible is of course knight f6 or even c6. Even c6 in order to have a symmetrical position later on. Or knight f6 to go into kind of Grünfeld. But he plays d takes c4. Knight a3.
Nabati, who is the top seed, but who had two very tough games in the first round and the first couple of rounds yesterday.
Yes.
He had this end game we were watching for a long time.
Yes, it is true. But he seems to be playing well in this one, very well. Yeah. But no, maybe this is not so common, I think, to take on c4, but it's playable, of course. But now he changes. Now it comes to almost kind of reverse Sicilian, but then black has a passive Sicilian. If he would be white, it's rather passive, but it's not bad, but it's a bit passive. As you see, takes. Yes, all normal moves. Hillar Persson wants to develop the bishop to b2. This is the idea.
So get the rook out of the diagonal of that g7 bishop.
Yes, when it comes to b2, it's provoking then f6 and so on. And this is It's passive position for black. F6 and A3 also 27.
Looks like also both players played the opening relatively quickly
Yes.
to get to the position
Yeah.
we have on the board. Rook C1, and this is the position we have on the board right now. This was this was our testing. This is the position on the board.
And here, if white cannot do anything special, then perhaps black can slowly improve a little bit to get the, let's say, a normal position as he would be with white. And then, then he could slowly get the initiative. But if white...
So where do you want to put the pieces, the black pieces, ideally?
Yeah, maybe, the knight from E7 should probably come up. I'm not sure if it's to D5 or to F, but I'm not. I don't see exactly what I should do with white first of all, because I would like to make a break if I could have E3, D4, or to. Well, the idea is being able to recapture here always with the piece, not with the pawn, but with the piece, and then maybe have open the bishop diagonal from G2. It's a strong bishop, and just have then the queen should be on C2, maybe rook on D1, playing E3, and so on. Look, he's trying to disturb her other ideas. Yeah, it's interesting play. So where to go with the rook? Because he cannot play E3 now.
Because D3 is hanging?
Yeah.
I guess you don't really want to go to C2. Is the rook a bit... I mean, is it a problem that the rook, let's say it goes to C2, that knight D4 might come with a tempo eventually? Maybe after knight F5?
Yeah.
Knight D4? Or?
Yeah, maybe
E4 is an option.
What?
On rook C2, maybe E4 is an option.
We can have a look at that.
Yes.
So rook C2, E4.
And the knight has no real good square. If it would be possible to jump to E1, it would be okay. Then the knight would later get to D3. But now...
And all the white pieces are awkwardly placed. I mean, it's already hard to find a move. So let's go back, bishop H6.
So...
But I guess you also don't really want to go to C3 either. I mean, also there might be the same problem of E4.
Yes. Somehow. Here he is. What's the last move?
Bishop H6
Bishop
is
H6
the last
and before.
move. Before was rook. He just came to C1 actually.
Here. Yes. Maybe an interesting move would have been Queen C2 here to begin with that.
To get out of that D file.
Yes. To control everything, and when he comes, if he comes with knight F5 in order to jump to D4, it's not so tragic, because the pawn on F6 belongs more on F7 to have the open bishop, better diagonal, and rook C1 was perhaps a bit too quick, and bishop H6 in order to disturb. So then I shall go queen to rook to A1 in order to rook to B. Well, he needs to put the queen on c2, I think, sometime.
Let's say we go back to a. I mean, they're not really moves you want to be playing.
No.
After you already played rook b1 and rook c1.
Normally, also when one plays rook b1, maybe the idea is to playing for b4.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, well, the rook, it takes a square for the queen also. Sometimes you want to have queen c2, queen b1, to have this possibility with the two rooks in the center here. Yes, like white have the, I think the major pieces a little bit standing on each other here.
Yes. And it's no surprise that Tiger is swing. I don't think Tiger can be very happy with the way the opening has gone. What is unclear to me is if he goes back to b. Okay, so he played knight d2.
This is, that is a good move.
Mm-hmm.
That is better. That is better than, because the knight on c4. The idea was probably, well, he had to take the pawn, of course, but the idea then is of provoking f6, and then now maneuver with the knight.
Still, aren't the white pieces a bit awkward? The white piece is not a bit strangely placed?
Yeah.
Because now the knight is pinned, it's not so easy to unpin. Pieces are not so active, they don't really... I mean, it just looks like the opening has gone much better for black now.
Yeah.
What can be black's plan? Does he want to try and bring a knight to d4, or?
Yeah. Normally, if the knight, well, now it cannot go here yet, I think, because it's maybe saying.
What if I play knight f5?
Maybe knight f5, yes. Yeah, the queen has to move. But also, this pin is a little bit disturbing.
Yes, yeah. And that's what I was saying. I think it's not so easy to unpin yourself because the rook doesn't really have any great squares. You cannot play e3.
Yeah.
Also, after knight d4, I'm gonna be hitting b3 potentially.
Well, white has a setup as in this. How I call this position with pawns on the 6th rank. Normally, you play the same kind of position, but then the pawn would be on e3 just. But this is not bad either. But the queen is probably on the wrong spot here. The queen should be able to jump to b1 somehow to have some play, and but still, still one. Yeah, I'm not completely sure because this is
maybe rook c1 was just a small inaccuracy. If we go back to this position after rook d8, maybe. Do you think rook c1 was possibly a small mistake already, or
maybe not a mistake, but
inaccuracy?
Yeah, I prefer queen c2 here, but the question is, should I try to play on the c line, or should he try to put, say, queen c2, rook b to d1 to play e3 to have a very flexible position, like yesterday he had a very flexible position, the same, and then he doesn't play on the c line, but playing for the center and the flexibility just because the black pieces with f6 done and so on, it is Yeah, it's not so beautiful with f6, but well, he has to because the pawn is hanging. But it's never so nice to have
to close the bishop.
If you have a flanquette bishop and you have to play the pawn in front of the bishop, just it's not looking so nice.
Meanwhile, black has played knight f5 as we expected, and this is now the position on the board. Shall we come back to this one a bit later?
Yes, let's do so.
Let's move on to maybe board 2, unless there's another game you would like to see. As usual, if you're watching us online, I am keeping an eye on the chat on Chess24 for any questions, comments, or if there's any games you'd like to see. Also, you can use hashtag Rilton Cup to get in touch with us on Twitter, and even here in the audience, if there's any games you would like us to look at, feel free to ask. So let's have a look at the list of games that we have today. We still have 23 players on a perfect score. If there's any game you would like us to go to, let us know. Otherwise, I think we'll simply continue, maybe go through games 2, 3, 4, until there's something that catches our attention. So let's go to board 2, Mikhail Kobalya against Lalit Babu.
Yes. Shall we take from the beginning?
Yeah, maybe very quickly.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it's the first Ruy Lopez in this tournament. I don't remember seeing any on the top boards the first 2 rounds.
But now, these days, the players, or the very top players, they play more often e5 against e4, much less Sicilian, like Fischer or like Kasparov. It was only Sicilian, very hard play from the first move.
Were you surprised that during the match that Magnus played c5? Did you expect that, or what did you think of that?
That was a little surprise, actually. But it didn't become normal Sicilian. It became a strange kind of Sicilian. Not really. The real Sicilian is knight f3 in d4 on the third movement to play this position. But that's another story. Difficult chess, very difficult to play those positions because they can be very sharp, and so players play bishop b5. It's it's not really doing much. It's just like I remember once Tal told me, Michel Tal, because it was at the time when I used to play in King's Indian, d4 takes e5 to play the end game. And he made a joke and he said that d takes e5 is half a move, he said. He's not a real King's Indian player, so to say. And he was right, of course. But it was a nice
I guess
joke.
You and Tal had somewhat different styles, maybe. It would be fair to say.
Yeah, Tal, he played everything, and he brilliant, yes. And so the same e4, e5, knight, or e4, c5, knight f3, knight c6. Tal, I think, would never play bishop e5. He would play d4 right away, yes. But now we have they play for more safety. E5 is more safe.
I mean, even the Petrov seems a very tough nut to crack these days.
Yes. This, at f6, castles. I place this, the open line. Bent Larsen wrote a book on this line many years ago, and he used to play it in a number of games. He played this, and once he even won against Bobby Fischer with the blacks, and it's an interesting variation, but it becomes a bit anti-positional, I believe, on the queen side, where we see the pawns, how they is standing. This takes, and knight e2. Now in this position, if the pawn would be on b7, would be better. Or if you could get the dream position with c7 to c5, but the knight is blocking. That's why I believe it's anti-positional, the variation. But it's, you get all the pieces out very simply without any special. You just develop them, and then but you remain always with this kind of weakness on the queen side, and this variation is not so popular today.
Yes.
I haven't seen it for a long time.
Especially not on the top level.
No,
I
yes,
don't
yes,
recall
yes,
seeing
yes.
it in any game.
The player who liked to play this variation from time to time, it was Korchnoi. He used this variation, not in all games, but in many games he played like this. And he succeeded to hold the games normally with black pieces. And yeah, this is...
But I think it's one of the nice things about open tournaments is compared to the top level Swiss tournaments, you don't really get, the players don't have the liberty to experiment so much with openings because everything has been analyzed with the engines so deeply. So it's nice that in open tournaments we see more of a variety.
Yes, that is true. That is true. For instance, here if there would be exchanges on d4, let's say, and on b3, then it will be a hold on c5. White takes with a knight d2, takes b3.
Let's show that. Okay, so actually he took on d4, but then he didn't take on b3.
So now knight d3 is probably the best.
Yeah, that's what he played.
If this now we see that the pawn on b5 would like to retreat a square, in order to cover c5. That's why these are the things that, this is, I think, is a little bit dubious for black, those kind of things. So therefore he plays here knight d3. I believe that is better too, because this bishop can be for the attack, but this bishop, black square bishop, is more positional against c5. Rook e3.
And black decides not to take the bishop. He plays knight f4.
Ah, yes, it is good. That is also good.
So why not eliminate the bishop?
Here rook takes, and then, well, if he can...
There's some problems on the c file.
Yeah, he needs to get c5 in, but he cannot get it in so easily. So therefore he wants to place the knight on e6. There it would be a good piece, and the knight will come to f4, later to e6, and then later maybe playing for c5 or even c6 to keep this and to wait. But if he is passive too long, then white has 4 pawns against 3 on the king side. Maybe eventually he can advance the f pawn and gets attack later on. So it is
okay. So let's see. So knight f4.
Interesting position, anyways. Knight f3. This is good. Bishop there, giving place for the knight on e6. h3. This. Rook c3. Yes.
And the knight goes to e6, as you said.
It goes back there, yes. In positions like this is also disturbing, the bishop h5. if white is very, let's say, if one moment, if white is brave or too ambitious, playing g4, so that can sometimes be good, but if it's not good, it must be really good. Otherwise, it's just weakening the position, and black can get counterplay with breaking with f6 and get attack. So this, but it's interesting fighting position.
I was just gonna say it's a very dynamic position with chances for both sides, and we see black plays a5.
A5, yes.
It's pushing the pawns on the queen side. That is the position on the board.
Yes.
Can I ask you, if you had to pick, would you take white or black here?
Yeah, I would.
Never be black.
I would play with the green colors. Because this, it is. It's a difficult position to play.
Yes, with both sides.
Yes, I think it would be easier for white to play if black would have changed on d4 and b3. Then white would have a clear plan to play. Now it's not completely clear, because shall I play one day g4? Not now. But the idea may be to double here. But it's not. Still, it's not possible to attack d5 so easily.
You don't know, but I'm a very cheap attacking player. He played g4. I was just
brave,
gonna say, when I look at this position, I get very tempted to immediately after bishop g6 to move my knight and play f4.
Yes.
And hope for the best.
Yes.
But I don't.
No pawns in front of your king.
This is. Yeah, he's brave. Maybe it's very strong. I mean, it's Kobalya. He's a very strong player. If he plays this, probably it should be okay. But in this variation, similar positions, then when the bishop goes to g6, then white has the bishop on c2, and then white doesn't exchange. He puts the bishop on f5. That is theoretical positions, and it is double-edged, I would say.
Just to point out that g4 is not a decision he took lightly, because we can see there on the computer he spent 20 minutes thinking before playing g4.
Yes. Yeah, maybe he doesn't see any other plan. We didn't see other plan than this. But now, one day he might break with f6 or f5. Not now, I suppose, or who knows? Yeah, but that is always in the air.
Yes.
White must be ready for that in any moment.
And bishop c2.
He played this. Yes.
What happens on b4 now?
Yeah, I was just wondering the same thing.
Okay, you can go back with bishop to a4.
So let's have a look. b4.
b4. Yes.
Okay, you have bishop at a4 after queen d7.
Yeah, this is interesting.
But I guess the rook has to go to c6, yeah?
b3 looks stupid.
Yes.
Where do we go to?
I guess to c6. I can't believe that rook b3 would be a move.
Queen d7,
bishop a4.
Bishop a4, yes. And the next move will be just rook a to c1.
Yeah, it looks like the rook might be a bit strange on c6, but actually it's okay, I guess. Yeah.
But now black has no time for f6.
Because e6.
Because e6 hanging. So.
Okay, let's come back to this game in a little bit, but that's a game that's shaping up to be very interesting. So black is thinking here after bishop c2. Let's continue. Let's go to board 3.
Board 3.
Board 3, we have the French Grandmaster Maxime Lagarde, who is black against Yeo, an international master from Malaysia. Someone I had not heard of him before seeing him here, a young player from Malaysia.
Yes.
And we have an endgame already. We got an endgame very early doors. Actually, it's one of the things when I heard I was going to get to do commentary with you, I was thinking maybe I can learn a thing or two along the way. Do you want to have a look how we got here, or shall we just look at the current position?
Yeah, this looks like white is slightly better because of the bishop pair, and also the pawn formations are not symmetrical. Here, 3 against 2 and 3 against 4, like this. Here, probably, I would say only white has, well, at the moment being white is the one who has the chances, but maybe it can be positioned later on. Let's say if black can exchange the bishop, one bishop, and then knight versus bishop, then white can have initiative. Black can have initiative as well.
What about the rooks? Should white try and exchange the rooks or try and keep the rooks? What would you say?
I'm not sure what is. I would prefer to first bring the king towards the center and then see maybe to go for exchange. But first bring king most to the center. And then rook d1 and so on. Yeah, this is.
This is a game for my style, I think. I always think, oh, let's come back to this one in 2 hours. Let's find some game with some queens on the board.
Yes.
Some dynamic positions.
Yeah, this is a little bit boring, so to say. but Yeo, he plays safe today, so Lagarde cannot do much. Even if he wants to do something, he cannot do anything.
But also, it's already round 3. The rating differences are not so big already.
No.
There's just 100 points between the players, so it's not such a huge difference, let's say. Shall we come back to this one a bit later?
Yeah.
Let the players to it. And let's go to board 4, Alessio Valsecchi against Gregor Gajewski.
Ah, yes.
This is more
yes,
what I like to see.
Yes. Yeah, this open play, so to say, but 2 bishops for black, but
the king on f8.
But sometimes they don't need to be better than the knights, the bishop. And for instance, this bishop on c1, if it goes out to g5 later on. But I think black is okay in general in this game. But white is also okay, I think. They don't have weaknesses. There's nothing to
what about the
touch here. This is both are playing solid. And then
but what about the fact that black didn't get to castle? How much of an issue is the king on f8?
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I thought it was short castle.
I was thinking, I don't know about it.
I'm sorry. Of course, is then
black is not so okay, maybe.
No. Then white, of course, white is better.
Clearly better.
and but still, he needs to do something because maybe he can, even if if the king comes out to g7 later on, but then he must play h6 and g6 and
it's
king
very
g7.
slow, yeah.
And then it's hard to hit this knight because normally you would like to get rid of this knight, I would say, the knight on e5 by f6 and so on. But the white has. This is dangerous for Gajewski.
Yusupov Wedberg, some similarities with his. He had to move the king to f8 also. Yusupov won easily against Wedberg.
Yeah, he must have coordination with the rooks in order to be okay, no? You need
I mean,
coordination.
it looks like black is very, very slow here. I mean, if he has to play h6, g6, king g7,
Yes.
it looks like white will be quite quick. I'm not sure how.
The rooks.
Rook,
C1.
yeah, rook
Rook
e1,
E1,
get the bishop out,
and
rook c1.
maybe trying to double even on the E line.
Yeah.
Yeah, then black must make a serial of good defensive moves and hope.
It's actually it's very
what is-
surprising, I would say, to see Gajewski get what looks like not a great position, to say the least, out of the opening, because I was saying the other day he's the main second of Vishy Anand, who is one of the
Yes.
best prepared players in the world, famously.
Yeah,
So it's strange
yes.
to see him
Yes.
get what is not a great position out of the opening.
He wants to play f6
Mhm.
better without these other two moves this way. f6, when he gets f6 and king will have a square here. Well, the queen is not so well placed on b5.
The thing is, the queen just came to b5 last move to chase the king to f8, so this was the position.
That's, I see. It was so. And he didn't want to go here. He played here. Interesting. Yeah, this is interesting. But still, yeah, knight here is good. Yeah, because if he gets f6 and king to f7, then white must have something. Otherwise, it isn't anything. But yeah, the queen. That's why he preferred to not to exchange queens. No, but maybe this is nothing special for white, and even though.
So what now?
king-
I guess I don't want to exchange. I don't want to take on e4. I guess.
No,
So
that's a good square on
Yeah.
d5 for the bishop or for the queen.
so
Yeah.
what are my options?
Yeah, this is a good question. Yeah. I want to play this here, but bishops out.
Can I
Yes.
play a move like knight e2? And maybe even if you play f6, can I play maybe knight f4 or something like this?
This we can look at. f4. Yeah, what to do now? Moving the queen, perhaps.
Queen d6.
Queen d6, yes. That looks okay, yeah. Well, queen e8 was also one move. Well, we can see this.
Okay, I guess knight d3.
So,
Yeah. I don't know, maybe the king will be okay on f7, I don't know.
I would like to get out with the king and to get the rook in play.
Maybe you can play
Can
king
we try
f7.
this? No. I must get play with the rooks somehow.
I don't know if you see, but I always look, maybe someone in the audience as well, I always look at the bar and I feel,
Yeah.
maybe we're missing something, but we cannot see the lines.
This
So,
is jumping.
yes,
Like, yeah.
but also it's not always, you cannot always trust it, so
It's like
we have to figure it out.
this is just like a flipper machine,
Yeah.
always bouncing without any control.
Because usually when I do commentary, it's without an engine, but also without the bar. So at least, okay, if we're ignorant, at least we don't know that we're ignorant. But here you see the bar and you feel like, okay, we
Yeah.
must be missing something. Because, I mean, here the bar apparently is saying that it's almost +2, so there must be something, but it's hard to say. Can we somehow attack d5? No, I don't know.
Not attack this. Or
Maybe. Maybe, yes. That's a good idea,
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah.
So what happens after
F3, rook
f3?
e1, bishop d2, right?
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
kind of good.
Maybe just simple
It's
moves.
difficult.
Knight
Yeah.
here, only square, no?
Yeah, and I guess after rook e1, we're threatening h.
Or bishop d2 or rook e, yeah.
First, and you
Rook
have to
e1,
play
yeah.
maybe h5
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
bishop
One.
d2 and everything.
Yeah, rook e1. Maybe. No, not time for the coordination.
Yeah, h4 is
It is
threatening to win a piece, I guess.
dangerous.
Yeah.
Oof. Oof.
Yeah, no, this is not
Now,
this is not great.
now the queen stands on the square with the knight had to go to. Maybe queen e. How was it? Knight e5. This and knight e4.
White is still thinking actually after knight
Knight
e4.
e4, yeah.
After the queen check on b5, why didn't he just play queen d7?
Yeah, let's go back to that
Must have
moment
been
maybe.
Safer anyway.
Let's go back to this moment. Let's see why he didn't play queen d7.
Yes.
I guess he must have.
Maybe it's a little bit worse, but the other.
Yeah.
Maybe rook e1, for instance, could be a move.
And it's still difficult to.
Because he's in
Complete
in
development.
pin there, but
Yeah.
e1 knight e, yeah.
Let's have a
I
look.
don't know.
Rook e1. And maybe there is nothing tragic, but it just looks
Yeah.
quite unpleasant for
Yeah.
black still. I guess maybe you can equalize, but I guess you have to be extremely precise.
Possible is, yeah, if we take it here, then
Let's have a look. We can have a
yeah,
look.
we take it, see what happens then. The knight, but maybe then maybe
Rook e1 again.
no, this move, for instance. But
Is king d7? Was king d7 an option or not really? Was taking with the king an option or?
yeah, maybe we can look that also. When taken with the king, yeah, when king takes,
Knight check.
perhaps knight check, yeah, and then yeah,
King e6 looks a bit too much. I guess we have to go
B5
back.
or rook e1.
and still, if it goes to e8, there still takes time to get the coordination. Maybe it's possible with
Knight
the
b5.
exact play
After
to
king
run
e8.
to
Big
run
problems.
king f8 and so on.
Yeah, so.
But it's slow. It's
Yeah.
very slow.
But at least then the queens are off.
Yeah, it's true.
But if black can take with the knight, and if he can reach f6, king f7, if he gets that position and white doesn't have anything special meanwhile, then black has a good game. Then he has a bishop pair, simply can play for that. But maybe there is something for...
Meanwhile, after knight e4, white has just played a4.
a4, Yeah.
Somewhat surprised by a4. I thought
Yeah.
there might be something more.
It doesn't look so disturbing.
Okay, maybe a5 is coming, but I'm not sure how big a problem that is.
Shouldn't he play but f6 and king? But he wants to play maybe a5 there. Yeah. If he gets a5 in.
Okay, maybe we can come back to this game
Yeah,
a bit later. We had a request in the chat to go to board 7, where we have Patrick Lurberg, if that's how you pronounce it.
Here, Patrick Lurberg.
Lurberg?
Yes. He's a very strong player, Patrick Lurberg. He was good already when he was very young, very talented and so. But
He's playing against Santos Latasa from Spain, so let's have a look.
But he didn't want to become a professional chess player, so he plays for fun just when he
How
has
is
time.
being a professional chess player in Sweden? I guess there are not so many.
Not so many, but
More than before, I think. More than before.
more than before, yes. But it was always few professionals here. Also, normally, if you're professionals in a Swedish professional, you need to travel in Europe, and Sweden is a little bit off on the map, and so to be in a good situation near the tournaments, should maybe live in Germany, Holland, or France. Maybe Switzerland, Spain, and
Did
so
you
on.
always live in Sweden, or did you ever make a move?
No, I always had my permanent address in Sweden, but I was not so often in Sweden at that time. I played a lot abroad always. In Sweden now what I have played is in the Swedish league. This is what I played. Because it's a league that takes long time. It's not like some leagues they play in 1 week all the games. In Sweden play 1 or 2 games and then another month 1 or 2 games like this normally.
So we have another endgame here, but
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
some pawns are missing.
2 pawns more for.
So I guess the question is there any compensation for white?
This pawn can be dangerous, the c pawn. If he could eliminate this pawn, for instance, this position without a c pawn, then no problems for white at all. Good compensation for the pawn then, but now it's 2 pawns down. That is the question. Can he also this thing?
Okay, but I guess it's normal if you're down 2 pawns.
But this thing is normally very materialistic.
Yes.
And in this moment, probably it is true. Yeah, it is. Shall we see from the beginning?
Yeah,
or
sure, let's go.
Make the moves quick to see. For instance, Patrick Lurberg, he plays maybe 1 or 2 tournaments a year, and in the Swedish league. That's practically all he plays.
How old is he roughly?
Yeah, how old is he now?
He was born 76.
76.
Born 76,
76,
yes.
yes.
42-ish.
He's not 10 years old anymore.
He's
40,
not
42.
Yeah.
not the young generation anymore. Yeah,
Time flies by.
but he's still playing well, although he plays so little.
Mhm.
He knows to play, this guy. Yeah, he is very good. Playing like Hillar Persson yesterday, similar to have
Mhm.
very elastic position. That is maybe not so.
Yeah, I always find it very difficult to understand such moves
Yes.
because I don't play such positions, but still visually it looks like a move.
How can good players play such bad moves?
Normally, in this position with an isolated pawn, when you try to get good piece play, when you have the isolated pawn, and to push the pawn like this, yeah, this is not the common way to play. Play beaver, trying to get up with the bishop, centralize the pieces, but this is what I say is just general talk, yeah, blah blah. But it's like the teacher saying or the father saying to say, you put the rook in the middle and you do so and so and
Did you play like that if you play class?
It
You
is-
don't play such
yeah, it is. That is probably the way you have to do in this position. Yeah, but it's a positional game. It's not attack because he has a bishop on g2, not on b3. It could be attacking game, but here is a positional game. So he tries like this. Yeah, he wants to make the bishop good. Toppen. Makes sense. And this,
Someone has had enough.
and this. And this. But he's playing with ideas, his own ideas. Just is good. There's, no, it's over there. F4. Queen takes. Queen e2. Queen c4.
Okay, so the bishop is kind of open, but is it really worth?
For instance, if he would play here, if they would exchange queens like this, then it's easier to defend this pawn with just a6, or to have 3 against 1. But maybe he can attack this c pawn and get the c pawn somehow. What's it? Rook there is good. There and there, and then
Yeah, black is still thinking.
yeah. And by the way, yeah, he can also play c3. It will be attacked, no? Sure. Black has 1 pawn too many. One, yeah. It should be without natural position. Would be more or compensation if this pawn didn't exist. It's a c4 pawn.
So
but-
what is black's? Is black gonna try and hold on to the e6 pawn, or is he gonna try and push the c pawn?
Yeah, that
somehow?
is the question. Shall he sacrifice it or defend it? For instance, if rook goes to e8, then he can play bishop d5.
Let's just show that maybe for the audience. Not necessarily
yeah,
in the
yeah.
room.
If this can go here, and then he will win this pawn, or can he give exchange here?
Yeah, and then
Maybe. Well, I doubt. Yeah, maybe.
suddenly the pawns could be.
Maybe he
Let's
can
have a look
take
at that actually.
just
So
for
if we
fun to
take,
see.
yes, it's not our piece. So we,
just to see.
yeah.
So, and then rook f8, I think. But these will be stopped.
Yes, too easily.
they're not.
And also b7 is still hanging.
Yes,
and-
yes. Probably not.
Yeah,
It's
it's
too slow.
too hasty.
Yes.
So let's see, after bishop d5.
Yes, then. Maybe it's knight. No. Yeah, maybe knight d4.
D4.
Something
Yeah,
like
that
this.
looks good.
Perhaps it's hanging here, it's hanging there. But Venus, I'm not sure. It is.
I think we had a move actually. Black played knight d8.
Knight d8, like this. Yes. Yeah. Then he
So
defends
defending
everything.
both
And the rook
e6
can
and
come
b7.
here and keeping this and so on. Yeah. And he has always c3 when it will
And
be
then
attacked
yes,
by bishop and rook, for instance, and he can play c3. Yeah, the c pawn is a dangerous pawn. But still, it's not easy to advance it further on. But it can be a long game at least. This game before Black can realize.
If you
this.
know Patrick's style, do you think he's happy here? I mean, you said earlier, he played with his own ideas, b4, b5. Do you think he's happy with the outcome?
I don't believe he's very happy with this. It was, I think he played this b4, b5. This was, he played for the intuition there, just to maybe too quick against.
Yeah, because I
against
saw he played b4. I think he only spent 1 minute or something. We can see here. Yeah, 1 minute 30 only on b4, which is very quick
in
decision
place
making.
like easy, like in a rapid game, I would say.
Okay, let's come back to this game a bit later. Oops, sorry. Let's maybe go to check in with Erik Blomqvist. We haven't seen his games yet.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I think he's not on the top 10 boards. So wait, I can just find the game. There he is on board 16, and he's playing against John Paul Wallace, who yesterday suffered this terrible stalemate trick.
Yeah.
Are you counting the funds?
Yeah, I was counting.
This is always my
make sure that it's even material.
That is always, I'm glad to see I'm not the only one, because that's always the first thing I do when I see a new position.
Yeah.
Shall we maybe see very quickly how we got to this position? Because I see we're both staring at the, let's maybe see how we got there.
Yeah. So it's a Bobo Indian defense. Yeah, this A5 is not so common. The player that made made here in this moment made this more popular. It was Korchnoi. He's played this in the beginning of 80th, I remember, and it looks strange, this move. I said it sometimes before also, because if you want to take towards the center, not out of the center. But I want to say that this move, as far as I know, was found by a schoolmate of mine, and when he played in the 60s, 65 maybe, or 67, 66, 67, he played this, and I told him, no, this is bad. His name is Eric. It is a bad Eric, because you have to take outside with it. You must go towards the center, and then nobody played. Only he played then, and then later on, Korchnoi made this popular in the 80th. But I don't think that he knew that my friend Eric has played this when he was a young guy. This E5.
So Eric had a point, maybe, after all.
Yes. This A5 is a typical Bent Larsen move, that I would say. Knight C3. Yeah, this is all known. Bishop A6. Queen B3, yes. And now Bishop G5.
I see he spent almost half an hour on Bishop G5.
Yeah, it seems that he doesn't want to play with the bishop, let's say, inside the, like this, on D2 or on C3. He wants to come out with the bishop outside the pawn.
Before playing E3.
Chain, yeah, and to perhaps to exchange here in one moment. It makes sense, but it loses a little bit time, no? E3. Takes there. So. A4, that's a good move. Is he thinking?
He's thinking.
He's thinking, yeah.
Okay, so let me ask the obvious. What happens if I take?
If you take, then bishop takes bishop, I guess.
And after queen takes A8, bishop G2.
G2, but then we
can have a look at it, maybe.
King E2. Let's see. Yeah.
Let's have a look.
This. This. Yeah. Then if here, what then? Or maybe H6 just. No, but then take and we can move this. If we want to see this. No, that should be.
The bar is not happy at all, yeah.
It should be a killer move here in this moment. Maybe Queen D7. With idea Queen G4.
Okay, let's have a look at that. Queen D7.
Yeah, if knight here, we check here, yes. Yeah, this is
probably game over even, maybe. Maybe it's just game over.
Yes. The threat is Queen G4, just to pick up the knight there and to play on the white squares just. Yeah, that should be.
Yeah. So okay, so it looks like we cannot take on A4. So where does the queen go?
To C2 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And we exchange, no?
Sure.
And king takes. Now we see it's good that the bishop here on g5, not on d2. It's then,
Yeah.
so he will be able to exchange here. But the question is, should the knight try to come out via c6 or knight d7 in order to recapture with the knight on f6? Possibly h6 takes, queen takes, king g2. If knight goes out, what do you think? What should we try?
I would probably go to. I would probably prefer to go to d7. I think.
Yes. We look at this, and then king out here. With the move.
And then h6.
h6. Take with the knight, like this. And maybe we can get c4 in and this diagonal. Well, if black can use this long diagonal, then or not. If he cannot use it, then white will have c4, rook to c1, maybe d1, and have a solid position.
Okay, let's come
Yeah,
back to this
yeah.
one. This was just one line. We've had a request from the audience to go to a Norwegian derby on board 15.
About 15.
It's a bit tricky. Yeah.
About 15.
And just to scroll down.
Uh,
Do you want me to? I'll get it. So on board 15 we have Frode Urkedal, who's playing against.
Trygve Dahl.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And again, that's a position that's much more to my taste. Let's say with the f5, e5 pawn structure.
Yes.
And of course, my plan is to checkmate the white king after queen f7, rook h6,
yes.
queen h5.
Yeah. The last move, what was
The last move was queen f7.
Queen f7.
If you want, we can go to the beginning or just back a few moves.
Yes.
I mean, Norway is producing a lot of strong players these days. I have to say, Trygve Dahl is not someone I've heard of. It looks like it's a young player. How do you explain that there seems to have been much more of a boom in Norway than in Sweden? Do you think it's just Magnus, or do you think there are other reasons?
I don't know. Well, I think the most important reason is that the children that themselves want to play chess. I think so.
How do you explain that?
I mean, I would do something because I want to do it, not because other people do it. I mean, that would be natural if I play chess because I like to play chess. And maybe there are youngsters like to play more chess.
But it's strange that there seems to be such a big difference in the players that are coming up.
But there are in Sweden, there are in the schools. There are trainers coming to the schools in Sweden also, and let's say there is a huge Swedish tournament, but it's a team tournament for classes, the kids in the 4th class, and they make qualification, and at the end they play the final. It has been in different places, but in big cities, and then the hope is always that some of them will join a chess club and so on. But as it seems that very few join the chess clubs, that is a pity. But that depends on the individual and nothing to do about it. And
I mean, it's also it might be a trend. You know, it might change, I guess, in the coming years.
Yes, it comes and goes. Like in Sweden, there's so much interest for. One day it was extremely big interest for tennis, but today I don't know if there's so big interest for tennis. Today it's maybe ice hockey, soccer is also very important in Sweden, in skiing, for instance, and so on.
Yeah, there isn't, I guess, the rivalry in chess that there is in winter sports. Yeah.
But the Swedes, they are in the not in the skiing maybe, but in ice hockey, in soccer. That is, Sweden are stronger, and that's good. I think. Yeah, but
Handball also maybe.
Handball as well. Yeah. Maybe in chess. In chess, it might take some time until you get better than Norway.
Yeah. But there are many good youngsters in Norway, and many good youngsters, and the Magnus Carlsen, he doesn't grow on trees. No,
that's true.
It's
Okay, so let's have a look. So b6.
Yeah.
And we have someone from our online audience. Nobody really is saying that chess clubs are less and less popular everywhere because of online chess.
Yes.
Which is, of course, a good point.
That is true, yes.
But I see that, for example, in Oslo, they opened now a chess pub.
Where?
In Oslo. They opened a chess pub.
Oh, very good.
And it's very popular.
Yeah.
It's always full from what I can follow online.
Oh, yes.
So
very good.
it's nice to see. Yeah.
Very good, yes. Here the question is if white should play b3 or b4, followed by bishop b2. It's a question of taste. Urquidar plays a little bit more, what shall I say, I don't know if it's more aggressive, but more pushing b4, not b3.
I mean, in these sort of positions, I mean, white has the bishop here, but I guess it's no big deal in these sort of.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal either. Well, later on, as in the game, this became closed for this bishop, and maybe one day white can open with f4 to open this bishop on b2 somehow, but otherwise. Here's e5 closes a bishop, and if white one day can get played with f4, but then black has a square on e4 for the knight. So, but this bishop has to then come around via c8 and so, and it's a bit passive somehow. Also, it's not so easy to get attack here as well. If one is very brave, starting with g5, g4, trying to get the two rooks and the queen in to go for the kill, just. But this is, I don't believe it. So that easy it cannot be. This is.
Let's have a look. Knight e1.
Knight e1. Good. Here. f3, knight there, and oops. He couldn't play h4 because of rook h6, and it would be pinned here. Yeah.
So let's just show that. So you were saying that it looks like the knight might be trapped.
Yeah.
But even maybe queen h5 or rook h6.
Yeah. Also queen h5, you can play it. But well then, if g3 is possible maybe, but the knight can escape later. But it would be important for black to open this diagonal from b7. But it's not easy, only by breaking c6 then. But then it's not, when it moves like this here, then it's not positional play anymore. Then it's, if black is playing too much on trying to attack, and if he doesn't succeed, then he will have a bad position later on. So this is, I'm curious also what's going on here.
So instead he played f4.
F4, yes, this is good, I think. Knight back, and now the knight to...
Actually that is the position.
This is, if she goes with knight here to d3 or to f3, I don't know. Maybe she'll go to f3 with the knight. But then it means that he has to go back with the king later on if the rook goes
to h6,
here,
threatening knight g3.
Yeah. Maybe this king h1 was not needed at all.
And what if we go to d3?
Here, maybe so.
c6.
Hmm?
Maybe c6.
c6
Maybe
to try
C6.
and open the bishop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have to say I actually quite like black's position.
Yes. The pieces are not standing.
On the ideal squares.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if knight d3 is any good, but
Maybe f3 is better.
knight f3.
To the knight closer to the king and also d5 is defended by the rook. But even so, maybe one can go here.
Okay, let's have a look. c6.
He's jumping. Yeah, the thing is, it is anti-positional move, but it's positional in the way that you try to control the square e4.
It looks like maybe we can take on e5 somehow. Oh, what are we missing?
To take where on...
Not immediately, but I guess something must be hanging somewhere. The bar is going up and up.
There are ideas with knight g5 also, because if it will be taken, pawn takes, the f5 pawn will fall.
Maybe knight g5 immediately, simply.
Yes.
It looks like that might be it. And if I go queen g6...
Is it different if you play rook h6 first and c6, 7?
Instead of c6?
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to maybe play king.
H6 first, maybe.
No, rook.
What?
Rook h6.
Ah, rook H6. Yes, yes.
It's a little better maybe
Mm-hmm.
because the bar was right.
Yeah, I think c6.
Maybe
yeah.
knight G5.
But now the bar is in the middle.
Anyway, maybe it's... No, now it's another story. No, it's not. It's hanging on F5 also. But still, it's not the same, yeah. King G1, knight G5. I don't know. Yes.
The bar says it's equal.
Mm.
It's difficult play.
Yeah.
Can we try knight G5? or-
Let's try, sure.
You can check on G3 and take on E2 maybe or something.
Mhm.
But the queen...
Yeah, but take with check.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, so let's have a look. Knight g3. King g1.
And take.
Yeah.
Now queen H5 maybe? Exchange queens. And then off a drop. Okay, better. Maybe this was not the best.
Yeah, maybe this is not what black wants. I
No,
don't think
no,
black wants
no.
to exchange queens. But anyway, white hasn't played knight f3. He played bishop
Bishop
f3.
Yes. I don't know what the idea is, because to take here can sometimes be strange, because if when the pawn takes, the knight has no squares to jump to, only trying to get around via c2 and d4. That could be, but in general, black wants to have a piece here, not a pawn on e4.
I think this is a very interesting game. Let's come back to
Yes.
this one a bit later.
Yes.
I wanted to go to board 18, where a good friend of mine is playing, Grandmaster Fabien Levisevsky from France, against Volodar Mosin, a young player from Russia. I think he's only 10 or something. I think he's one of the highest rated in his age group. But the position is looking, let's just this game. Libisevsky against Mosin.
Libisevsky. Ah, yes.
Because
Mosin.
I saw some pawns storming up the board against the black king.
This.
So equal pawns, but how strong? I mean, I also saw, of course, on my computer that the computer says +3. But I was wondering, why is that? Is the attack just crushing, or?
This looks good for white, yes, very good, because the king is safe here. Normally you get play with knight c4 or knight a4, and the bishop in e7 doesn't get to that diagonal. And bishop in b2 is good on this diagonal, and the knight is good, especially bishop h3 is wonderful. Can be placed on maybe on e6 just, followed by f5 and 6, maybe going
Should we have a look at that? Maybe?
Yes,
So
let's
it's white to move.
Yes.
So
It's white to move.
so we
yes.
could go bishop e6 maybe.
Bishop e6. Let's see. It says that this is. Bishop e6, king. Go Cross.
Mhm.
Yes. Because maybe he wants to. No, but he can. If he takes, he can never open here because he will give him mate. Probably.
Actually, just as we were looking at it, he took on e5.
Yes. Playing like this.
Okay, I guess we can still potentially go bishop.
And he cannot take with the knight. This the piece you would like to take with knight, but then
Have to
it's
take with f-pawn.
So what's the reason we cannot take with the knight? Simply because the rook is hanging on
for
c8.
instance. And also the knight is coming up to
Yeah.
f1. Take
So-
this, yeah.
F takes e5 is on the board.
But now, yeah, he had to take, otherwise d6. So then the bishop is passive, and this knight will maneuver to g3, e4.
Well, I was
things
just
like that.
thinking, is knight g3 immediately an option?
Yes, why not? Or rook f1, I don't know. Then knight g3 to put the knight on e4 looks good, but maybe, yeah, he will move the rook. But still,
Let's have a look.
let's, yeah.
Knight g3. And you wanted to move the rook.
What to do here? Also possible.
It's very difficult because black doesn't really have an active plan,
No.
I guess.
Also can we rook f1,
Mhm.
things like this.
Mhm.
To have some play for black. Black should have the, should have the square on e5 for a knight or for a bishop
Mhm.
to have something, but he has
No
nothing.
squares, yeah.
It's positionally, it's looks winning for white. Yes.
Even if there's no crushing attack
Yes,
or
yes,
something.
yes.
But after bishop e6, knight to e4, h5, it is
Yeah.
crushing, I think.
Yes. Black can hardly move in this
Can't do
position.
anything.
Yeah.
And knight g3 is on the board.
He went there.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let's come back later. Shall we go back
Yeah.
to the top boards? We haven't checked
Yeah.
in with Tiger in a while.
Yes. Yes.
So let's go there. We didn't really like the way the opening had gone for Tiger too much. Where did we leave it off here? I think after knight d2. This is where we left. So
What can you do? Knight f5. And now queen c2.
no, rook
Now
c3.
rook c2.
Okay.
Rook c2.
And queen goes to b1.
Yes.
Once again, can I just ask why can we not grab the pawn?
If you take one, probably he. Let me see if he doesn't have anything special. Probably he takes it just and then plays this position with the
Let's
pawn down,
shall we
but
put it in?
open
Let's put it on the board and see.
and the. So. So,
Mhm.
and then is a question.
Does knight d2 do anything? No. No.
And he plays on the. He has compensation on the right squares. This bishop is important to have, I think.
Mhm.
When you have Yeah, especially when f6 is played as well. Opening like this, there's always compensation. Yeah. He has
Okay, so let's
compensation.
go back. So he played rook fe8 instead, and
In
e3.
e3. Is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Harry was saying yesterday how Tiger quite often gets into time trouble, and today might be one of those days.
Yes. Is this the time?
This is the time, so he has
21.
21 minutes left for
Yes.
22 moves.
Yes, he comes into time pressure rather often, but he.
But what
normally
about
plays
his
well
position?
this.
What about his position? How does it compare to when we left after knight d2? How do you think it has
Yeah.
developed?
White is getting more the pieces. Yeah, it's very flexible this with the pawns, and if we cannot take this one, then it's okay for white, even when they can take it, when they just even maybe end games, if the bishop will go and they change queens on b1, he has pressure on b7, and also the rook on c2 attacking c7. He has a good play, good piece play.
So what is White's plan going to be? Where are the pieces going to go? Or
Yeah.
are there any pawn pushes in the near
Yeah,
future?
Maybe I would like bishop a1
Then b4.
and maybe b4, trying for something like that. But maybe then he goes back with bishop f8 to prevent this.
Can he even maybe consider going back to f8 immediately, bishop f8, to even
Yeah,
stop us from going bishop
yeah.
a1?
Yeah, that is possible. It is possible to go right away. But black has played the moves, just put rooks in the center and put no weaknesses. Little bit weakness here on with f6 and e5. So, but in a5 is not the weakness. Can be a weakness, but it's to prevent b4. So all black's moves are logical, but how to proceed with black here? This.
So what happens if I play, let's say, bishop f8?
Yes. Yeah, what do I do with white here? Yes, it looks like a good move. Yeah, to see the real plan, well, it would be trying to get the knight up here, to try to disturb b7 and so, get the knight to c5 or so, but the pawns are hanging here now too much. The b3 is weak, and I cannot play bishop a1 because a3 is
What
hanging.
if I play bishop c1? Is that too strange?
Bishop
C1.
c1.
Or maybe bishop c3, actually.
No, then he takes on a3.
Ah, yeah, that's why I wanted to go to
this move,
c1.
for instance. But then there is. I don't see how to proceed with white after this. There is no b4.
yeah.
This is a nice move, bishop f8.
But
Also, I
White can play bishop f1 maybe also
To defend, yes.
I
yeah.
just noticed,
Okay,
actually,
so-
why can black not take now on d3? What?
Rook takes
And it
C6.
takes
Ah,
c6.
okay.
But okay, yeah, then it takes on c6, yes.
Mhm.
Sorry.
The position is
So the position on the board,
this.
actually black has just played rook
I played
d7.
rook d7. Yeah, this is okay. Slowly to
Mhm.
attack d3, but then sorry, bishop f1 is not bad ever. This is also okay.
So can we consider playing bishop a1 now?
Yeah, now let's say if bishop a1, but then shall we make your move bishop f8 again?
Mhm.
And now how do I defend this guy here?
Mhm. I guess knight c4 cannot be an option because you can take on d3.
Yes.
Could g4 and g5 be a counter to open up the diagonal?
b4,
G4.
g4.
And then g5 and you open up the
I
d5
try to get the e5.
Yeah.
That is interesting. We can look at this. This is interesting. Where do we go with the knight?
And then in time trouble, anything can happen.
Mhm.
Yeah, where should we go?
Yeah, I think it's very likely that this game is going to be very interesting in about half an hour from now when both
Yes.
players are very low on time.
Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward for the last part of this game.
It's always nice to
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
here and
yeah,
watch the
yeah,
players
yes.
suffer.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, this looks like a very interesting try, actually.
Both players have played solid moves, yes,
Mhm.
and not,
Yeah.
really coming into clash yet. Or was it?
Actually, you know what? Let's come back to this one. Let's go to board 2. We were saying earlier it was shaping up to be a very interesting fight between Kobalia and Babu Lalit.
Yes.
And I see there's been quite a few developments there, so let's check in. So this is where we
yeah.
left it off. Maybe
Yeah.
we can click.
Yes.
click through the moves, see what
Yeah.
we missed.
Bishop b4. And then,
Okay, so the rook comes to this
yeah.
slightly strange looking.
f5, yeah. Takes. Bishop takes c2. Takes. And queen
Takes
takes.
f6.
Yeah, now we have this thing with maybe some pressure here
Mhm.
against it. Hey,
Actually, I like the way Black has played this
Yes.
game. Okay, he played the open Spanish, but then he played in a very interesting and enterprising style.
he played somehow natural moves, no?
Mhm.
Here, everything here goes bishop and then f5. The whole putting the knight on e6.
Mhm. So knight e5.
When I have a position like this with white, then I want to play always g4, g2. But then I realized maybe I was too pushy before. Yeah.
Then the referee will come to
So he can't do that, so he had to move the knight. The knight went to
Yeah.
e5 and c5.
Yes, here to break him. Yes. Very interesting.
And it's still a very interesting position with chances on both sides. I mean, looking at the rook on b3 looks
Yes.
very strange. There is also the fork on d7, which appeared on the board now. So knight d7.
E7. Queen f7. Takes.
So white is winning. It just
Okay.
won the exchange,
Yeah,
but maybe the
yes.
rook on b3 cannot be saved. Oh, can it?
A3. Yes.
What would have happened? Okay, because now I was wondering what would have happened after rook d3.
Rook back. D3. Maybe.
I mean, I'm slightly worried about my king, but
Maybe he can play
c4.
C4.
Shall we have a look?
Yeah. I was thinking also to take here, but I'm not sure. And maybe that is also possible.
Oh,
but-
did you see what the bar just did?
Yeah. So, yes.
So black is winning.
Yes, and then you have nice majority here, and the bishop comes back
The
here.
pieces are just
you
too
have
strong here.
Control on f4 and everything. It looks good for
Yeah.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he needs to do something special here.
So after a3,
A3.
black played c4 anyway.
C4, yes. Takes. Ah, yes. Queen c6.
And we can see that the bar is not happy.
Yes.
Now we need to find out why.
And here, what happens if we would take here?
Let's have a look.
Just
Must have been a reason.
question. Because it's a pawn at
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
It looks like also according to the bar, it was the
It,
better move.
Keeps equality,
Yeah.
Is it knight
more or
G5?
less. Knight,
G5?
G5, maybe.
Take on
That's
F2,
probably what he
maybe
was
such
worrying.
moves.
Yeah.
Rook F3?
But
But you can maybe
So
take it, yes.
and then there's just a perpetual. There's no mate, right?
So King H1.
Let's have a look at it.
Oh, no,
So
no, no.
knight
It's a queen
G5.
F3, maybe queen F3.
So if we
Take.
take, there is even
Take here. And King H1.
there is even no perpetual.
And if rook here,
If
then queen takes d5 check. And he escapes. And
Yeah, so
and
knight
let's go.
G5 just doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
Queen F3 first, as Simon says.
okay, so queen F3
Queen
first was
F3,
suggested.
with idea of going here. And also take, yes. Yeah, these.
It looks very frightening. I mean, I would not like to be white here.
But even so, maybe. Because what if knight was. If
Can
he-
I play queen d1 maybe?
Maybe. No, then I take here,
Ah, yes, of course.
I think.
Yeah.
But this looks like the good move anyway, queen
Yeah.
f3. This is.
I mean, what does white do here? Are you really okay? What happens if I take on a5?
Yes.
Or can I even take with the rook, maybe, or not?
Ah,
And I'm slightly worried you are going to
Knight
just
F4. Oof.
knight d4.
f4, f4.
F4, F4, yes,
Cannot
also.
take and
Yeah, yeah, these are the
mate.
threats, yeah.
But then, what is the move here for white?
Can you protect the queen, maybe?
Rook.
Rook A.
Yeah,
But the problem is white will always
Maybe
take on,
must-
black will take on h3, yeah?
Yes. And later come with the knight. But maybe
Okay, maybe, okay, what after rook a3? And if you take on h3, I take on d5. And you take on g4, and then
yeah. Yeah.
nothing.
But maybe first this move. A4
Yeah.
This is
maybe.
good for black.
Mm-hmm. We must be missing something because the stupid
Yeah.
bar tells us that
Yeah.
it's equal. But
Yeah, he didn't take this because of something that he was afraid
okay,
of.
I'm
Queen
going to
F3.
cheat. And my patience is.
He was afraid of Queen F3. I'm sure.
So after Queen takes b3, Queen f3. The move is Queen d1 actually.
Yeah, he has to.
Surprisingly,
Yes, the problem is only because that was knight
it's
F4.
the only move actually.
Yes,
But
yes.
why?
and takes here,
And then just b takes e5. The computer wants
and now
b takes a5.
b takes a5. If maybe this is
And after knight f4, it just wants to take it.
taken rook a3, no?
Yeah.
And then we take rook here, and well, how is that? He has a pawn, but
It will come to this
can
queen
look.
ending
we
with
can
the
look.
yeah.
Knight f4, like this. Rook a3 takes. Yeah, perhaps it will be
Yeah.
a better check.
But it
What is
it says king f1, but it says black can play a bit, but it says 0-0-0. Maybe the b pawn is too.
this one?
gives
Is good. This
yeah.
one is good. Yeah, but how to proceed here?
Yeah, because I guess if you go back to try and stop the pawn somehow, I guess the black king is maybe too weak.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But that black is a pawn up, so maybe it doesn't matter.
This
Mm.
very likely this is draw. This position.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so but I guess that explains why he played queen c6, because all of this was not so easy
No.
to all spot. So let's go back. So queen c6 is the position on the board, and we just
Yes.
had another
yes.
move. Black has just played knight g5.
And now knight g5 is maybe better.
And actually the reason the computer was saying that it's good for black is because it wants to play a4 here.
Yeah, this is
A very
this.
greedy computer move.
Yes. To have two against one here, always a danger.
But I don't understand. So what happens if I take one of the pawns?
Yeah, no, can it be? If you take the pawn, yes.
Oh no, the computer has changed its mind again.
What?
It doesn't like black so much here.
No.
It was deceiving us. Anyway, we have some moves in the game actually. Let's have a look. So knight g5 was played and black took.
Now he has a
And it looks like
perpetual check, at least, yeah.
I don't think there can be anything more here.
No.
Oh,
Check
can there?
there.
But there can't be anything more, I guess.
No. He probably goes to G1 or H1. That's
It doesn't, shouldn't matter, yeah, I guess.
Never let him playing rook f2 with the
Mhm.
check, and then
Mhm.
will be made somehow, but always here.
Mm.
And
Okay, so I guess this game
Yeah.
will finish.
Yeah, then was better than queen takes pawn.
Mm.
Safer at least,
Mhm.
yeah. Was safer.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on this one and let you know if it finishes in a draw. Meanwhile, let's move on. Shall we go back to... No, board 3 was that endgame. Let's not go back there. King g1 is on the board. I expect this game to be over. We also had a draw on board 8 between Sergei Volkov and Jesper Thibault.
Who?
On board 8,
board
Volkov against Thibault.
Volkov. Ah, yes.
It was reasonably interesting, but then
yes.
it fizzled out into this.
3, 4, 5, 3. Ah, yes. Yeah, this. Yeah, they made a draw.
Yeah.
Opposite color bishops and everything else
Yeah.
practically.
As I say, I
Yes,
think it was a
symmetric.
reasonably interesting game early on, but let's, especially now that time is ticking down, let's go somewhere else. There was also a draw, by the way, on board 19 between Manuel Belon Lopez, the husband of Pierre Crumling, and Christian Holm from Norway.
Red draw. Should we?
I think let's not, especially now that the players are getting a bit shorter in time. Maybe later on, if we
Yeah.
have nothing to look at,
Yeah.
we can go there. Should we go to another Swedish player? Game we haven't seen yet on board 17, Zumsander against Fulhoff.
Ah, yes, this we can look. Mhm.
And I think after this game we're going to take a short break.
Okay. This is so.
What happened to our G pawn? Why is there no pawn covering f5?
Yeah. Yeah, well. He played here too. But it looks like white is okay here. No gold. No. Here's some play on the.
At first sight, I'm
square.
slightly surprised to see the move rook e1. I was quite happy, at least at first sight,
I
to
don't-
have these double rooks on the f file.
Yeah, I don't understand this move.
Yeah.
Or maybe he has some idea to try to remove the knight to knight f1, trying to come to g3 and to
Mhm. To then go to...
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. It looks pleasant for white regardless. It's difficult to find
yes.
a plan for black, I guess.
It's a little bit anti-position
Yeah.
with this for black. No g pawn. Yeah. I place bishop here.
Yeah.
Maybe next move, some next idea is one day king h8.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, this is at least a good move not to permit
Mhm.
to take here. Yeah, it's a lot to play. Difficult to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
here.
Okay, so we'll come back to this one later.
Yeah.
I think it's time for our first break of the day now. We'll be back with all the action from round 3 here at the Rilton Cup in 15 minutes at 6 p.m. Local time. See you then. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
And welcome back to round 3 of the Rilton Cup. Control now, so both of them can have a think about whether they are interested in a move repetition or not. Meanwhile, shall we see how Tiger lost his game?
Yes, let's
see what happened there. So we left the game off here. No, we didn't leave it off here, or did we? No, we didn't. Here. Roughly? Also not. No.
Before he played for G4.
Actually, we missed a lot of action.
Here, Bishop A1. E3 was played, and Bishop A1. And then Bishop F8, yes. And then G4, this
we had looked at.
Yes, and where did he go? To D6. Okay, and now G5 to break there. Bishop F5. Yeah, looks okay.
Okay, so now Tiger decided to give up the exchange.
Maybe E4 he must play, no? But because it's nice to use this square for a piece for white, not to put the pawn there. He didn't do it yet. Now this, okay, this is interesting. I think this is interesting. No.
And then he took on F6.
Take on F6, yes. Good. Queen takes F6.
And now E4.
now came e4. It's not nice position when one has to make this move. What a piece here, yeah, yes. Bishop g4. Looks good. d4, breaking. Knight f7.
Do you think white has enough counterplay, or here the position is there are too many issues with the white position?
It looks better for black somehow. The pieces, they don't coordinate well. There's no threat against the black king or anything. So somehow should be good for black.
And also just to remind you that Tiger was quite low on time already when we left.
Yes.
When we left the game off.
Yeah, then it's difficult to play this queen f4. Good square for the queen. Queen b2. Bishop e6, yeah.
Suddenly all the black pieces also coming into the game.
Yes. Yeah, now comes the queen sacrifice. But it's not enough. It is too little material for the queen. Takes. And now a good move here. Rook d8 he played. Nice. He keeps the bishop here and takes the pawn with the rook, hitting the knight and everything. And white doesn't have coordination here, no, for his pieces. Bishop c1. Knight e5, yes.
So he only has, what, 2 minor pieces for the queen.
Yes.
And still some issues in the position.
Yes.
Actually, the game only lasted 2 more moves. He took on e5, and after queen takes, h3, bishop h5, decided he had seen enough.
And resigns, yeah. Yes, because no play at all with the pieces. So, yeah, it came to a sudden end, but we expected something could happen in the time pressure there.
So the top seed, Tammy Nabati, on a perfect 3 out of 3.
Yes.
And let's see who will join him. We already had quite a few results, I think, on the top boards.
Yes.
So we had draws on board 2, 3, and 4.
Yes.
So let's see on board, also draws on board 7 and 8.
Yes.
One of the players who's also on a perfect 3 out of 3, we didn't get a chance to see that, is Golami, who beat Kulouts with the black pieces. So maybe we can check that out later. But let's go to boards 5, 6,
Board 5.
and 9 first to see what is happening there. So on board 5, we haven't seen this one at all, actually. A game between 2 young players, Lars Oskar Hauge from Norway and Murali Kartikeyan from India. So material is equal, but what is happening? Both kings are a bit in the open.
Yes.
Okay, so the first obvious question, I guess, is what is happening if we take the bishop?
Yeah, you can see.
I guess there must be a perpetual somewhere, otherwise it looks.
Yeah. Let's say, well, if you check
Can we maybe take the knight?
Maybe so.
Yeah.
Yes. So maybe we take this one also.
Yeah, because the king can never go onto the f file because of
No.
queen f5. So maybe this is just.
Yeah, and if he goes trying to go down to g8, then queen f5 and queen takes c2.
Mhm.
That is enough for
Yeah.
white. Yes.
So that would just be a draw here.
Yes.
So what other options? Does black have anything better than rook c2?
Yeah, what to do here?
I guess if you want to play on, you have to keep the rook on the 7th, so maybe defend the rook. Is queen c3 a move?
Queen c3. Yes. Defends the rook and come in closer. Yeah, to the center. This makes sense. This move.
Also attacking the bishop on c2.
Yes.
But what if the bishop comes to b3 now?
Yes. Yes.
Rook takes f6.
That is nice
Oh.
move. That's so nice.
Here?
Rook takes f6.
Uh-huh.
What queen?
Rook takes f6 is another move.
Rook takes f6. It is true.
Okay, let's have a look at that actually.
Yes.
Uh-huh. What happens if I go queen? Okay, but you'll checkmate me. Mhm. What do we do now?
Yeah, what to do? I think must take almost, no?
Yeah, I was wondering. I
Yeah,
don't.
see, I
I
think-
also don't really.
Oh.
I was wondering if there's any point in
Okay.
giving a check first, but no, you can come back even with the rook. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I don't see any other move than take here, and then
Okay, so let's have a look. Queen takes f6.
yes.
Queen takes c7.
C7.
And king. Where does the king go? Can we go to h6 or?
Yes.
But yeah, this doesn't look. Maybe we couldn't. Maybe queen c3 was not the best move. I don't know. Although I still think that here, once again, the evil engine bar was saying that it's. Let me have a look. Because the engine was saying that it's equal, but I don't understand why. So let me Let me see. So after queen c3 and rook takes f6. This is taking a while. Okay, queen e5 was the move.
What? King?
Queen e5.
Ah, yes, you have the check here.
Yeah, but I was wondering, but there was simply a check on a1 I didn't see.
Ah, there is perpetual check.
But still, what happens after bishop?
Yes.
I'm very
Or-
confused. Also, what
or-
happens after... No, rook f4
Because-
is not a move.
Rook here, maybe knight here.
Because after rook f4 there is no more checkmate after... Like after rook f4 I guess we can just take on c2, yes?
What? Oh, it's hanging here
Yeah.
also. Yes, yes. Yeah, now it's...
But still, I'm
Mm,
wondering...
Yeah, after rook f4 is...
Then we
doesn't
take...
know. Must play king here, no?
I think king h1.
Or king h1. Yeah, because hanging on e3
Yeah.
we check. Yeah, this is... True. I think we see 3.
But rook f4 I think we can
So-
take on...
Yeah, king h1. He has a threat to queen f8 and rook h6 mates. But black has a perpetual one.
So, sorry?
Wishes. The threat is queen f8.
Actually, on rook f4 we can just take on c2. But both king h1 and
These.
king g1 are both draws,
Yes.
apparently. And we just go queen a1.
Then there's a question: is this playable or not? Probably not. No.
Yeah, I'm not sure why actually. So king h1, queen a1. What if we go bishop d1? Bishop. Okay, this is tricky. After bishop d1, black has to find... He has to find knight f7 here.
Ah, yes. Yeah, because I made this
Yeah.
there. Knight f7.
But this is a move that's not so easy to see in advance, I guess.
This is good, yeah. Then he wins a piece there,
Yeah.
no?
But even here, I mean, I don't understand what's going on. And if you take the rook, then I guess I take...
Check, and then king takes.
And then just... Okay, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is that. So black is still thinking after queen d8.
But queen here is a good move,
Mm.
bringing the queen back somehow.
Mhm.
Looks good.
Okay, let's come back to this one. Let's move on. Let's go to board. Yeah. And nobody really in the chat also pointed this out. Thank you. Let's go to board 6, a Wonder Liang against Santos Ruiz. I think we haven't seen that game
No.
all day. Okay, so we have an ending here. And black is a pawn up.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Actually, a Wonder Liang in the first round, he was down 2 pawns, then 1 pawn, and he still won. But today, he will have a hard time producing the same magic.
Yes. Yeah, he's fighting for draw,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It looks very unlikely, I guess.
If the black king could come in here,
Yeah.
some moments he must look out for e3.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not with the knight is here on g5, but if the knight goes
Mm-hmm.
somewhere, and then e3, and then king e4, king d3, and king c2, and the pawns will fall here. But if he waits here, bringing the king towards the center,
Can we ever play f5 or not?
Maybe
f4, sorry.
maybe so. Yes, black should no. Or who's on move?
Yeah,
Is-
yeah, it's
is-
black's move.
Yeah, maybe like this.
Bishop c7.
Or if we play bishop d6 in idea bishop f4 in here, but then g3 I suppose is coming just.
And then all the white pawns are on black squares.
But then maybe
Then f4.
then f4.
Okay, so let's have a look. Bishop d6. So we have a big threat of bishop f4.
Bishop e. Well, no. Where do we go? If this, then f4.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what else?
If the game will open, yeah, this happened. No.
No, this
What is this here?
this is our analysis. It's
It's
our video.
analysis.
Let me pause it. That will make it easier. Okay. So yeah.
It happened.
No, this is
No.
our analysis
Is it?
still. Black is
Yeah.
still thinking.
Yes. And then, well, he has to defend against bishop f4.
Okay, so let's have a look at g3. And then we were thinking of playing f4.
This.
It looks...
This must be easily winning for
yeah.
We have tactics also. Sometimes
Mhm.
it sacrificing b4 and crossing, going down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just looks very difficult. I mean, black has the bishop here, which is quite powerful in this position. He's also a pawn up. His
Yeah.
king is centralized.
Usually it says it's hopeless, but it hasn't said that about this.
But the king has no entrance. That's what I'm a little bit afraid of. The knight is holding from here, from g5, but
Sometimes you can win as like a study, maybe, with bishop in e5, push b4, sacrifice something. Yeah, just running through.
Okay, so what? Maybe even here we can have a look at that. So a suggestion from the audience is to maybe at some point put the bishop here and then sacrifice the pawn later and push the...
say I will come with the king
Mhm.
like this. And you mean then to play
Something like that.
b4,
Maybe it doesn't work right now.
b4.
But it might even work because the engine has jumped once again. Let's have a look at b4.
Yes.
It's very possible that it works, I guess.
Yeah. Have to take with the a pawn, right?
Yeah.
Take on c3.
You mean to
bishop.
take on c3, yes?
A very nice suggestion here
Yeah.
from our live audience.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Very
Yeah.
much
Seems
alive.
to just be winning.
Yes. Yeah, the a pawn is too strong.
The rumor about my death is highly exaggerated.
Yeah, so this seems to be winning.
No, yeah, but maybe he should play like this.
And black
like this.
Black actually did play bishop d6. Bishop d6 is on the board.
Yeah. But maybe g3 is on, but when bishop is on e5, let's say this. I was thinking that f4 should be played, but
Actually, we have a suggestion in the chat that is saying
if this, maybe this move. Then if you play b4, ab, bishop take, a3,
bishop c1.
bishop c1, bishop b2. And yeah, the king cannot come in. Yeah, the king cannot come in.
But cannot. I think you can give up a pawn just to get your king out, maybe to c4 or something.
How do you want to give up the pawn?
Maybe
If
b4
takes,
and a3.
A3, you take and I take on
Take on
C3. Then I have
c3.
pawn pawn.
Mhm.
And take on c3.
Let's show that maybe.
Maybe
So
the c pawn is
b4.
winning the game. You can see
Because
this.
the B pawn is not
Mhm.
going anywhere.
Mhm.
anyway.
No, those two pawns are not
Good
important.
control.
Yeah, the c pawn is, but the king has to come close here.
Okay,
But
so king f1.
king f1.
Maybe, yeah, bishop B2.
Yeah, this
Mhm.
looks good.
Mm-hmm.
And I prefer black.
Yeah.
Yes, it will probably win the bishop somehow.
Mhm.
It
And the
looks like.
game.
Yes, yes.
Okay, actually this looks very... And after bishop d6, white has played king f1. He didn't play g3.
King f1. So after this move he wants to play bishop e3.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
That is good move, yeah, that's a good move.
And
Maybe
black
should
has
be-
played f4.
He played f4, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's...
It feels like somehow it should be winning for black. no?
Yes, I believe so too.
Because there was one, nobody really in the chat was saying that after g3 and f4, he was saying that maybe after g takes, whoops,
He takes,
oh, I shouldn't move this.
and then bishop e3.
Yes, so he was saying that after this, maybe bishop e3 is a fortress here.
Yeah, maybe he can play like that.
Let me just start the video because Madeleine is gone, but I think I might have moved the board, which I shouldn't have done. Let me just see. Oh, it's still okay. Yeah, so there were maybe some ideas. I'm not sure if this is a fortress, but here it's hard to believe
But
that
same
there are...
idea, bishop E5 and push
The
it.
same idea
A3.
all the time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where was it?
King is so far away, the white king is.
Here. You mean here, bishop e5?
Yeah,
Yes.
maybe
Mm.
so.
So meanwhile, in the game, f4 and king e2 has been played.
Hmm.
I think. Yeah. So how do we proceed?
Yeah, that's a good question. Maybe the right was the other with bishop immediately there.
But even here, it feels like
It should be possible.
So what happens if we go bishop e5 now?
Maybe king d2.
Mm-hmm.
But if you,
Yeah.
like maybe go to the other side to pick up the h pawn or something.
So black has just played bishop g4 check.
Yeah. Hmm.
I expect king d2. Can we ever play f3 or does that not? No, that will just...
Yeah. F3, I wonder. Yeah, what do I do against such move? Probably
Okay, so let's have a look.
D3,
King
yeah.
d2.
f3, maybe g3 even. I then to wait with the bishop on e3.
Yeah, no, I guess f3 is not a move you want to make, or at least you want to try something else first.
You can also maybe sometime play bishop e7 and take on g5 and play h4 and passing through somewhere.
Sorry? What?
Bishop e7.
It's not positionally right, but maybe work some tactics sometime.
I thought if you can hit the knight.
Yeah, and play h4 and just
Yes.
maybe bishop f3, you know, some tricks like the pawn going down. This is not easy for a
Okay, let's come back to this endgame a little bit later. Let's check in with Mikkelsen and Gopal on board 9, another
Board
game.
9.
We haven't seen.
Gopal, yes. They had an endgame also.
I know, it's true, yeah, we did.
2 bishops against bishop and knight.
Okay.
And then I got opposite color bishop.
But
this is also... yeah, and interesting. Yeah, this looks like maybe he's just winning this.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
He
how?
lost 2 pawns there.
What happens
this-
after king d4?
He will go with this pawn. I suppose king d4.
Let's have a look. King d4. It's black to move.
Black. Yeah. Then he begins with this right away.
What happens after c5?
c5. Yeah, let's do this. And then we have to block here first. Bishop c6. Now if you run with king here, try to do that. But when it's there, or before, jump. Yeah, it is too slow. Yeah, this.
So let's have a look at the variation.
Let's say something like this. Push the pawn. You,
King g5.
then let's say I push. Now you cannot play the king. And next move just king goes.
Okay, so let's have a look,
and
for
winning.
example, at bishop e7.
e7, you make a king move.
And bishop f6.
We must go here. And we can take this.
Bishop a1.
And then we go down with the king here. If king,
King
try
f6.
here. Bishop there. King d7, g5.
And that is that.
Or even, yeah. That is true. That is true. Even losing the g6 pawn, just enough to win the bishop with king here, and then you win with bishop and h pawn against h pawn. Just was it the right
color?
Color, yes.
So black has tried bishop c6. No, black hasn't tried. Black has played bishop c6.
He played this first.
But which is probably also doesn't
that is
make a
good
difference, I guess.
Play first this.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like black is winning here. Let's move on with our little tour of games that are still underway. So those are the 3 games that are still going in the top 10. Actually, let's have a look at how the game between Lurbeck and Santos finished.
Yeah, yes, how
Because
they...
he was down 2 pawns.
Yeah.
We were not too optimistic about his chances.
Yeah, and
So let's go back.
yes,
Let's very quickly.
yes, I make moves quick.
Mhm. Meanwhile, I see videos have been posted on Twitter. Again, if you want to get in touch with us, you can do so on Chess24 in the chat or on Twitter using hashtag Rilton Cup for any questions or comments. So this is roughly where we left it off.
Yeah, and knight d8, I think.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah, here we left. Let's see how he proceeded here. Just to bishop h3. Yeah,
C3, which is a push.
rook takes, yes. It's good, it's gaining time.
Mhm.
So, yeah, this is, and then b6, rook d1, yes, there, bishop back, yeah, this is okay. He needs to make 2 moves, bishop and king g7, but
Mhm.
he doesn't have time for that. Oh, there.
It looks like that was not
Um,
the way to go.
or if it rook there, yes. Rook e7. Rook d3, yes. g5. Little bit of desperation
Mhm.
to try to free the pieces, just. And he wants here, yeah, he wants rook c7, maybe this is,
Yeah, it's quite impressive actually how Lürbeck has managed to turn the position around
Yes.
slowly.
but
Slowly.
he's playing well, Patrick Lüber. He
Mhm.
knows what he has to do.
Mhm. So let's just see how the game concluded. Rook f3. Because we saw in the final position white was even a piece up, although there was nothing to be done. But
Yes, king there, and now rook takes, and king up. Yeah, this looks okay, yeah. Very okay.
b4.
4, c4, These 3 pawns are not dangerous.
Mhm.
King,
But still, how did he get? Let's see.
he's breaking even. Bishop d4. Yeah.
And suddenly, if
Oh.
anything, it's black that needs to be careful.
Yes.
White is just gonna pick up the pawns. I wonder if he even had any winning chances.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, he's trying to come around with the king, maybe here, if he can do that. Bishop there, yeah. H4. Bishop F4. Yeah. Now white is better. Bishop. Yes. Yes. King in. Yeah. Can you do something? G5. E2.
I'm curious if is there anything.
This I don't understand what it says.
But probably it's just a draw. The king has time to run back to the corner, yeah?
Yes.
And then
And now it takes a
I think maybe the engine just doesn't understand, probably. Unless we are missing something.
H6.
But
H6. The idea is to play G6 and win. But now comes a nice move. Bishop takes G5. And it's a draw. The king goes back to G8.
And we cannot
And-
kick
and-
it
no,
kick it out of the
and it's a
corner.
draw. It would be a draw. Also, if there was a knight instead of the bishop, would also be a draw. Yeah,
Okay, so nice,
it was good.
a nice game. I mean, it's
Yes.
very impressive how he
Yes.
turned it
Yeah.
around from what
Yeah.
looked like a
Yeah.
difficult.
And he played well, Lydberg. He's good. Yeah, it's look out for him. Yeah, or look at his games. Yes, it was interesting.
He thought he was going to
He's-
lose at some point. I don't know exactly where.
The opening didn't look too great. Okay, let's see what other games are still in progress
Yes.
on boards 11 to 20. So let's scroll down. So let's have a look at. Let's go to board 20. We haven't seen
Yes.
young Milton Panzer's game yet against Nesterov. Let's see what these guys are up to.
Oh, it is changed a little bit there.
Okay, so black is up the exchange, but the king
Yeah, but
is
before he had a piece more.
black did.
White had a piece,
Ah,
had a
what?
rook. But what was it? A rook on h7? Yeah, he was a rook on h7. And he can take it.
So let's go back a few moves maybe. Let's maybe go back,
Yes.
I don't know, to move, let's say here, and try to understand what happened. I mean, how did we get from this just being a piece up to being an exchange down? Okay, king g6.
G6. And then yeah, the b pawn is good, but if he loses the a pawn and wins the b pawn, let's say, 3 pawns for the piece, but if the knight can come in the game, it
Then,
will probably win. Yes.
Also, I mean, that we can see, we don't see the computer lines, but we see the computer evaluation, which says that it's plus
Yeah.
5, so there
Yeah.
must have been
Queen
something. King f6.
Yeah, coming up. Yeah.
Rook h7.
Rook h7.
Oh,
He wants to hit so, yeah.
okay, so it looks like rook h7 was a big blunder. So let's see what was.
Maybe if he wants to hit here, maybe he should better play rook to
to g8.
G8, and then the rook is in play.
Queen.
Yes.
Oh, Queen h4.
Queen h4 also. And if he goes back,
Then Queen e4. Yeah. Okay, let's have a look at Queen h4.
Yes. This. Yeah, this is good. And now where to go? King g6, no?
Now what? Queen e4?
Yes. Check. And he cannot go back with the queen,
Because
very important.
knight h4.
Yes.
So.
And yeah, this begins to.
What after king f6?
Yeah, this. What happens after moves like rook b8? But maybe it's not.
But it feels like there should be more somehow, no? Is there anything more? Let's have a look at rook b8.
Yes.
Maybe that is enough, yeah.
And then if you take here, take here.
And we're threatening rook
threatens
f3.
So, and if you push the pawn,
Can we? Oh no. What? Rook b3. Yeah, rook b3 maybe.
rook b3. Yes.
Because the king cannot escape.
Yeah, right.
That was the way.
Yeah, now.
And black simply doesn't really have a move, yeah?
No. That is true.
Nice find. We are joined here in the audience, by the way. You can't see her, but Mihaela Sandu found the winning line. It's a pleasure to have her here. So that was the way. Instead, he played rook h7, and the evaluation swung dramatically.
Yeah. The rook is out of play here. Well, unless he wins by force with this. Otherwise, to play. And
this was, by the way, move 39, so just before reaching the time control. I imagine that white was probably quite low on time.
Yeah.
And b2.
b2.
And the problem is it looks like the king is going to hide simply, yeah? So queen
takes check.
King e7. And there is nothing. No check.
What did he do?
Played queen g6. Just stopping.
He threatens to make queen.
Yeah.
Yes, it is true. Just threatens. Oh, yes. Yes.
But suddenly white has no more threats. Suddenly it's black who's pushing. Queen h5. I'm very don't.
It's a funny move.
Some perpetual.
What
So I
is-
guess after B1 there must be a perpetual somewhere.
Here. Yeah, he has
And
perpetual checks, probably. Yeah, he has perpetual checks,
Mhm.
yes.
so white
Ah.
decided to black decided to play queen G1.
Oh, this is beautiful.
Yes, and picking up the rook on
Very,
H7.
very nice, yes. Very nice.
Okay, and that's how we ended up in this position.
And then, yeah,
And queen H4 is on the board.
queen H4, But now black is, white is fighting to draw this game, and it's difficult to
It looks
see.
very unlikely that he will
Yes,
hold it, I
yes.
guess.
Knight is passive.
Yeah.
Only the queen to move around.
Mm.
If he can do something,
Why not check and take the pawn immediately?
check where
Check
was
on E5, you mean?
Station.
Yeah, check on E5.
Let's have a look.
Yeah,
I guess the king going to F8.
yes. Oh, but then he has chance of that, and then we take the
I guess
pawn.
we have to take, yeah.
Because if he takes here, we check and take here.
C7.
And then with open kings and so on,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it can be a perpetual check.
Mm.
Difficult maybe to win this game.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's have a look.
Yeah,
I guess we have to. Shall we take?
Yeah,
Have to probably take on A6.
check.
Mm-hmm.
And
And queen takes C7. And now.
But black can always allow the exchange of queens, for instance. It
Yeah.
should be winning.
The endgame.
One plus, so to say. But yeah,
Or maybe
good.
even, can we even go queen
Maybe.
E4 or queen
Yeah.
F5?
Yes. Here, yes. Yes. Looks good. Yes,
Yeah.
looks good.
Is it winning if the queen is 16?
Yes.
Yeah,
Finally,
I think
say
Wolf
that.
you were saying you think the endgame is winning.
Yes,
Yeah.
with so if white one day must change, let's say,
Queen
to
C8,
survive,
Queen C8 check.
then it will be lost.
Mhm.
I think.
Mhm.
Yes, yes.
It's a check on B, C, C3.
Yeah, well, white is fighting
So after-
desperately. Yeah,
Mhm.
to hold the game.
I guess after queen C3 we will hide on H7 probably, yeah?
Yes, yes. Queen here. King H7 is good.
And you go to F6. No.
With the idea of rook to the second rank.
F6 is
also.
covered by the rook at the moment.
It's finished.
Yeah. Queen B3 to hit
Yes,
F7.
yes.
Maybe rook F6?
Rook F6.
I mean, white can maybe fight a
He
bit,
can
but
can
it
fight,
looks, yeah.
but should be lost
Should
in
be
the
lost,
long
yeah,
run.
yeah.
Yes, should be lost.
Okay, let's see what else is still going on. We'll come back to this one, but it's a dramatic turnaround for young Milton Panzer,
Yeah.
who'd been playing a nice game, and then...
Yes.
Okay, let's go back to the top boards. Let's go back to Laxowska Hauge and Kartikeyan
Ooh,
on board 5.
on board 5. Ah, yes. Here. Hmm. They didn't move. Yeah, but black must have made a move, but
Yeah, there were a lot of moves.
Uh-huh.
So knight e6 was played.
Yes.
Queen d3. I'll let you click through queen c3.
Yes.
There's a lot of moves.
And more.
Yeah.
Aye.
Rook f2.
No. What?
This is so rook
Yes.
f2. Queens were exchanged.
Yes.
Rook c3. And we got to this rook endgame, where black is a pawn up. Rook f4. And that is the position on the board.
Uh-huh.
And
he won.
And white just resigned. What?
A4.
I would have resigned.
If it-
I would play A4.
I'm very confused.
If a4 one time, then always rook c4. And then the idea the next move, rook takes a4.
Yeah, but you can't
But,
take it and go with the king.
No, you can't catch it.
If you play a3, rook c3.
Where? That's the strong.
Yeah, we'll always have rook takes a4 defending a6. And the king is too far away from here also. Yes. Maybe it is lost position then.
Ton H7 schack.
Mm?
Ton H7 schack.
Ton H7 schack, kung g6
Ja.
och sen ton slår a2.
Ja.
What is being said? What is the suggestion?
He suggests rook h7, king g6,
Uh-huh.
rook a7, but simply rook takes pawn. And these two.
But
will
why?
be-
I'm very confused. I mean, we can see the computer evaluation, which says
Yes.
minus 0.33. So I'm wanting to find out why. Let me see. What are we missing?
Vad rolig det med han fick Lyrberg.
Okay,
If the
a8.
king was in G1 or
Jag tror man skulle
G3,
vinna.
then it's a draw there.
What does it propose?
It proposes a3.
Yeah, a3, rook c3.
Or even rook a2.
Yeah, rook a2. Okay, so let's have a look. a3.
Rook here.
Yeah, rook c3 or rook a2 is more or less the same. Yeah, rook c3 and then rook h7.
King g6.
Oh wait, now it's changing its mind. Oh, rook h7, king g6, rook b7,
Yes, and then try to push.
and push the
the
pawn,
pawns.
h-pawn, yeah.
Try to
And now play h4.
because it takes some time to get them. H4 now,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
yeah, it takes time to push the pawns.
I mean, it's strange to resign so soon
Yeah,
in
it
any
is,
case.
too early.
Yeah. Because, okay, it might be lost, but if you don't fight,
But,
then...
And later you can put the rook on b6,
Mhm.
so the pawns cannot move. So the rook has to
Yeah.
go. It has to be played like so. Well, b4,
It's
a5,
white, yeah.
rook a3, b3, a4, rook a2, b. It takes very long time.
I mean, the computer is
And then
even
he can
saying
maybe
that...
push the pawns on the king side and have
Maybe he didn't see
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, he could have tried at least. Yeah.
I mean, the computer is even saying that it's closer to equal than,
Yes.
than anything else.
Yeah.
I mean,
he-
it's very strange to
He
resign.
became pessimistic
Yeah, I
just.
didn't see this.
Very pessimistic just. Yeah. Because two nice pawns like this for black, but they move very
It's,
slowly.
Mm.
Yeah, not quick at all.
Interesting. So, a very strange decision by Oscar Hauge to resign somewhat prematurely. So
Yes.
let's go to board 6, descending. We were looking at a wonder.
King goes to e6
Hmm?
and tries
Uh,
to support.
Wait,
Ah,
what?
wha-
Wait, one. Hmm?
Is it better if the king supports the pawns, comes to e6 instead of g6?
But then the h1 is always dangerous.
So the question is if the king goes to e6 instead of
To e6. But then when the h pawn will be pushed, the king needs to go back later also. We probably
Just to
play
test
the
the
same
Just to test
when,
it.
let's say this, probably the same rook to b7. And when this will be taken, then we go
H.
with this.
Yeah.
Yes, I think,
Doesn't do anything.
or g4, I don't know
G4
which one.
first, maybe it's better. Because now it's king.
Maybe now, maybe king f5.
Maybe B4.
Interesting is g4 also, and then h4 just to push
Mhm.
them. Yeah, he could try at least some moves.
I would even, if I was black, I would start to worry a little
Yes.
bit if
Yeah.
the pawns are
Yes.
pawns are running.
Yeah, because it is.
If you don't, then get the black rook behind the pawn.
Mm.
Let's see if he.
Now black is. I think maybe g4 is better.
Yes,
Now we control stage one with the king.
or to play rook g7
Yeah.
is
Mm.
one.
But then I lost the tempo.
But
Could do it
after
maybe.
g4, can I play like rook d3 and try to cover the check on the sixth rank? and
If you can
just to free my
defend
rook?
on d6 later.
Yes, and then I can catch the
Yes.
pawn on h. From
But
h3.
rook-
And if the rook is on, and then, yes, maybe that is. If rook here,
No, I mean after g4.
h5, this is
After-
h6.
Here, yeah?
Yeah,
Here?
Instead of h4.
It's very good.
After g4, can I play rook d3?
Play G4 immediately.
No, no.
If d4 rook d3, what do you say?
What are we I'm confused. After g4.
Rook d3. yes.
g4.
And she wants to try rook d3.
Rook,
But then rook b6.
Yeah, but
here,
I
rook
just want to free my
d3,
rook, that's all.
yes.
Yeah, move.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, the pawns are not moving yet.
So
h4.
Now we push.
Rook d7, rook d6.
The black king is not so good in this position.
Rook
He
d7?
can't go anywhere.
Rook d7,
Yes,
Check.
rook d6.
Check.
probably rook
D6.
b8, no?
Oh,
B8
you
is
take the
better,
pawn.
yes.
Take the pawn.
now you can guess it.
Yeah, and then back again.
So,
I mean, white is accept the draw.
Yeah, well, it's better than a loss.
Mm.
at least it's fighting, no? It's fighting
Yeah.
a
You
little
can go
bit.
to
Fighting,
h
it's
pawn
a
and go up with the
fighting
king,
game.
and you have
Yeah.
Mm.
possibilities
Yeah.
for draw. And
I believe he was just pessimistic about the position in general and thought it's just lost and
maybe he saw the losing move as I did, a4, but think rook c4, and then it's
Yeah.
lost. Maybe he thought it was the
yes, and then
Okay, so I think our conclusion is it was a premature resignation. There's no definite conclusions on how.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to evaluate all the remaining positions, and then I think we're going to call it a night since most of the top boards have finished. So let's have a look at all the remaining positions
okay.
and get your prediction, and then we will call it a night. So let's go to board 6, a Wonder Liang.
Yes.
They have ended up in an opposite color bishop ending. Let's go to the
yes, they have. Oh, yes, they
the
had.
position on the board
Ah,
is this one.
Yes.
So it's 2 pawns, but opposite color bishops.
If there can be a Suitswang maybe, then won't if they can. Only if there's some special Zugsfang. Otherwise, it's an easy draw. This.
I guess I'm putting before at some point, but I have
Yeah.
to defend my
If
f3.
b4 can take with the bishop.
Yeah, but first I have to defend the f3 pawn, and then I can take on g5.
Yeah, no, even if you have two connected here, they cannot advance on the black squares. If you could win the g5 pawn and have this pawn on f6 instead of f3, then you just advance them on the black squares and you will eventually win the bishop. But here you can only get pawn f3 and pawn to g4. And if the king comes to h3, let's say, the black king, you just put the bishop on the diagonal and hold.
Yeah, but I can move my king
Yeah, the
around
king
a little
goes
bit
to
and
queen
try
side.
to d3, and then we will see.
To d3 maybe, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then I put the bishop on b4. On d4 is not possible because then you go to b2 and you win a pawn. I put the bishop on
No.
b4.
The king on
I know,
the
but then if you play g3, then you can play no
With the king.
g3 king.
Shall we
takes
try and
g3.
put the position maybe on the board?
Yes, we can.
Make some
Yeah,
peace.
who was the move here? We just
We need
And
a.
I can also triangle at some point, right?
yeah, but where do I go with the bishop or with the king? I don't see because
But first I have to defend my f3 pawn side. I'll play something like bishop d1. And
because if I go bishop b4, you take. You mean this is hanging?
yes, I have to
Yes.
defend it.
Okay, we do like this,
Bishop b3 or
and we
Bishop
defend.
d1, I guess.
Bishop d1. We defend.
Okay, I guess you have to go back to e7.
Here, no.
Or maybe you can play king e8. I don't know if
and now
there's.
play b4
Bishop
or something.
Yes,
e2.
now before.
Yeah.
So now b4, yeah? No, b4,
so
I think.
Now the bishop cannot.
Oh,
If bishop goes, then b4.
yeah.
Ah, already,
But
yes, I'm
with
winning some.
C pawn, and then
so I
that
don't
is
have to
winning.
drop
That
the
is
pawn.
winning.
Oh, he
Yes.
dropped one.
And I was thinking.
So he has to withdraw with the king somehow.
I was thinking
Then you
here, but this is maybe not draw even with
King g3.
we play king e3, no? Or
I
G3.
prefer.
Where do you prefer to
G3
go?
I prefer.
Take them serious.
G3.
Yeah, because I want to go to g2, yeah.
Yes, and I have to put the bishop on this diagonal.
And now king
You
g2,
go,
and then I play
and
b4.
I have to make a waiting move.
Mhm.
And we go up with the bishop also, no?
No, but I can play b4.
Yeah,
no,
maybe.
because, okay, you're defending, yes.
So then when this goes, play b4, right?
Mhm.
Only to take this,
I'm
and
just
to
winning the bishop.
play this.
That's okay,
This is winning, yes.
Mm.
That is winning. I was thinking with the king on d3 instead, the same, with the maybe winning a piece, and so that was the idea. But this is you play c2, and when king goes, there's bishop back, and then f2 and winning.
So what's our
Win.
prediction? Win for black.
Yeah, because this is Zugswang.
Mm.
Only
Yeah, I mean not
because
this
it's-
position, but the
The
position.
Zugswang position.
Yeah.
If how was the position?
It's
This.
bishop c2. No,
Yeah.
that's our video. This is the position on the board.
This, if we can, if white doesn't have to move, it's a draw.
Mm.
But and he cannot move the king because the king enters, and when the
Mm.
bishop goes later, then well the g5 pawn will fall.
Mm.
He wins of Zugswang because of Zugswang.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
think this is going to be a black win. So let's move on to the next game. The
Yeah.
next game is okay. So Mikkelsen
Oh.
lost against Gopal. So let's go to board 11. Prasad against
Prasad.
Heberla.
Heberla, yes. Ah.
Well, I was winning at some point.
Oh. Is it this?
Yes, and that is.
Mm.
It's the rook against the pawn.
Okay, I guess we have to go king. Oh no, he'll give a check
Check.
first.
And king goes to e5. It looks like a draw this year.
Yes,
That's
it's
the
a
draw.
draw. But
Yes.
maybe rook f2, maybe, but I don't know what to play.
King e5 here. Like this.
No, before rook.
Okay,
And then
so here we're wondering if there was another
to go
so black to move.
for black other move. Yes. Don't. Yes.
I guess we have to try king c2 or no? Let's try king c2.
King.
Not king c4. No.
Yes.
No king c3. But okay, now
D4.
I push.
Why not king c2? Why are we not?
C2, yeah. Or king c4, but this is
King c4 threatens rook d5 check and rook b5.
Okay,
But still,
but why king c3? This I don't understand. Okay, let's try king c4, king.
but then we can play. He wants to have this. Now we can play king f6. We go away from the check and the cover here, and then if rook was, or is it winning? Or maybe no.
No.
I mean,
We can
how?
check.
You mean king d6, no c4?
Because I cut the rook from the king from the pawn. I play rook d6 check and then I bring my king.
We can,
How was it?
we can go up with the king.
Can we go back to this? Where was it? This?
no, this is the
This.
position on the board, but
This.
so here,
Yeah.
so we were looking at,
King there.
and then
I will check.
we looked at king f6.
Maybe king f4 is better.
Or you can check.
What to do? Or
Or I
come
can
back?
check. I can check. Rook c8 check. Right?
You want to come back here?
No, rook c8 check is better.
Oh, just to check, yes?
Yeah.
Or maybe just check even. Yes.
Oh,
So that's one.
the engine is dropped. The bar has dropped again.
Yeah.
But why? But
But yeah.
why?
This looks okay. Also rook c8 check. Yeah, looks.
But it probably isn't. Okay, let's see. King d5 and king b5 apparently are both winning. But why?
Ah, you cannot take the rook, of course you need to.
And then the idea is to
Up,
have a
up.
check and
The
block.
idea-
Check the rook.
Okay.
The idea is that probably I'm using the king for some horizontal checks and then interfere on b5. I guess.
Which move? King
King b5.
It looks like what? Yeah.
king b5.
But I
yeah,
guess
this-
the idea is
And if we check again,
king c6
What's it?
and now I'm creating rook d5.
and then
Or
where?
you are running out of checks, maybe.
King where?
King c6? No, that's
C6.
That's not the idea. No?
Okay.
No?
Now
Okay,
it says
yeah.
equal
Not
again.
the idea.
Where threat is check in here, and now we shall we go up or go back just? I think
I am
both-
very confused.
I think both are.
I think we're
possible.
missing something.
Yes.
Or maybe the engine is missing.
Or maybe the engine.
Or maybe I need to put my king on a6.
The engine
instead
plays
of
for
c6.
tricks.
Ah,
only.
that's a. Okay, let's see. King a6.
King
Just
a6.
to have everything.
Uh-huh.
Ah.
No.
Okay.
Or a5. A5 is better.
What's the difference?
Because I attack before.
No, we go back to F.
A5.
Yeah.
Oops. King.
But where? Because I have 10.
Ah, it's interesting. Interesting ideas. Yeah.
Ulf,
But still it's a draw.
can white take the black pawn and get the
okay.
draw
Yeah,
because the
that's
king
true.
is too far
It's too
away?
far.
Maybe that is also true. I'm not sure.
Why did we go to C4 anyway? I wanted to go to C4.
Yeah.
It was
Okay.
long.
Let's. When
In this moment, one cannot.
in this.
Yes, king C2.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I was also
Yeah,
wondering.
now we just play G4.
Mhm.
And it's
And again, the king must be too far. Yeah?
keep the pawn.
And
You
it-
can't stop the pawn.
And the G pawn makes easy draw. Yeah.
Okay. This is the position on the board. King E5. It's going to be a draw.
Yes,
Probably,
I
yeah.
believe draw also. Yes.
Okay, then moving on, we'll find out for ourselves later what we were missing. What we were missing. Meanwhile, okay, now, let me. Okay.
That was the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
Prasad. Yeah, well,
The suspense.
Blomqvist was a
Draw. Yeah, it's possible that they repeated from the
Yeah,
position we
yes.
saw. Okay. And it looks like that is it. Let's have a last look at Panzer and then we'll wrap things up.
Yes.
And did he manage to
Oh,
save himself? Okay, let's get to the live position.
Now look like this. Yes, he's fighting.
He kept his A
How
pawn.
did he?
Let's have a quick look how we got here.
Yeah.
Tonight,
He had queen.
without losing the
Where did we left it? Leave it.
Okay, so,
Ah,
yeah,
so
it
you
was
looked at
earlier,
some analysis.
earlier even. How do we
So he
get that?
played queen H4
Move
check, I remember.
40 about. He queen A4.
Queen H4, king A7, queen A4.
It was, he had even before that. He played queen A4 check. That we had from H4. Not queen D5, queen A4 check, and now C6, yes?
That was bad, huh?
And he played C6, yes. And then,
Now we can use this.
queen C2, yes, this is a good move.
We can't take it because that
But can't I just bring the queen? Like queen D8?
Queen G8, yes.
Queen D8 is not so... okay, queen D8. I don't know.
Yes, so, and now the knight comes in play. King C7. So, knight E3, yeah, this is good move. Queen A5. Up there.
I would have activated my rook like rook E7. Like it wasn't.
Queen E7, Queen B6, C7,
Queen back.
yeah, H5, Queen B2,
What if, I don't know, rook A8, rook E8 something.
H4, oh, and now Queen D8, and what,
Okay, so he's winning.
now the white king is more open, he has more chance if he checks now. Or maybe he doesn't take the pawn, maybe he puts it on G2 just.
Yeah, but I mean, we need to play a move.
First, where shall we queen 2 there to hit here? And if he takes, maybe king g2.
And then you have a passed h pawn.
Maybe king g2.
Okay, but what if can I play something like after king g2, rook e7 or something?
He's hanging on c6.
To exchange the queens.
But then, yeah.
C6, rook, C7, queen.
Checkmate.
Okay,
He's
and
fighting.
Wait,
He's
wait.
fighting.
Strange position. Have you had this position before, Ulf?
This pawn gives a little bit of protection.
and if I play queen e8,
queen e8, yes. That looks good.
Queen f6 maybe? And then
Yes. But then we have check, check, no, wins the knight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a good move. This is a good
okay,
move.
then we have to maybe take the
It's strong.
The queen rook is game over. Maybe we can give a check on g4. Oh no. Not this
let's
one.
see.
But somehow it must be
Be
winning.
winning somehow.
Must be winning.
Okay, so I think that is going to conclude
Yeah.
the show for
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So thank you everyone for watching, and we will be back. Queen e8 is on the board, and yes, I suspect black will find a way to win this game. So thank you very much for watching. We will be back tomorrow for round 4 of the Rilton Cup. Same place, same time, 3 p.m. Central European time, the local time here in Stockholm. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Ulf,
Thank you.
for your insights, and thank you to our live audience here as well. And we'll see you tomorrow. Good night.